basketball fans, what is up? And welcome to the All Basketball Podcast, where debates often take place. Once again, it's your host, Maurice Dixon, and welcome to another volume of Just My Thoughts. Just me, just what I'm thinking at the moment. And obviously, the NBA is on a break very soon to end. The Lakers will be making up a game by the time you get to this against the Hornets, I'm pretty sure, in LA due to the fires a few months back, or maybe January. Making up a game. But then most of the other teams will get started on Thursday night. We'll have a couple of primetime matchups. But so let's just get to the All-Star Weekend this past Sunday. Different format. They've been switching up for years. They had players draft, two captains draft teams. They put in the Elam ending. They did almost everything to try to get some competition going. And this time it was four teams, three GM'd with the four teams were GM'd by Candace Parker, Shaq, Charles Barkley, and Kenny Smith. And Shaq's OGs, was it Durant, Steph, they ended up beating the international team put together by Charles with Jokic, Wembanyama, Shai Gilgeous. And it was only the 40. It was pretty much a 4-team tournament. I didn't have a problem with it. Seemed like there was some effort out there. Definitely you see it from Kyrie Irving, Wembanyama blocking shots. I think Dame got a jump ball, if I'm not mistaken. So you had some effort, some nice plays. A lot of people didn't like it from what I read. Mainly what I've been listening to other podcasts and people voicing their opinion, sports shows. So you're not gonna make everybody happy. I'm fine being in the minority that liked it, but even though it was something different, but hey, it's on the players. Y'all don't want to compete hard. Want to put up 211 points last year. Almost a total of pretty much 400 total points. They shoot a bunch of threes, lofting shots from half court. Not really competing. The NBA had to step in because the ratings were going down, and I'm going to get the latest ratings in a second. But so this is pretty much what y'all made this bid. Y'all gonna have to lay in it. You don't want to have any sense of urgency. You don't see the value of competing in this fantasy type style game, which is a dream for some because you get to see great players, all-stars, team up in a way they wouldn't have when it was the East and the West, but even with this new format. And you get go against other great players. Like there are a bunch of highly skilled, great teams, but nobody wants to compete. They don't care. They don't see a reason to promote the league in that way anymore because the money's gotten so big and the mentality's changed. And so it's just Kevin Durant was kind of joking. Maybe he said maybe they should stop it. Maybe they should. But this is on the players and Durant. You're part of this era. So unfortunately, y'all just didn't see any reason to compete hard in an All-Star game when people are paying a whole bunch of money to see it live and see it in person. There's nothing else going on in the sports calendar really, definitely on that Sunday night because football just pretty much ended. College basketball steps away. Hockey is on their break as well, and more people are watching basketball than hockey, being honest, and definitely more Americans. So y'all just, maybe we take it away and there'd be a break, and maybe some people come back around and see the value and have to build it back up because the NBA's in some trouble. Ratings are down. Style of play is too similar. You got too much foul baiting, too many non-shooters shooting threes, thinking they're three-point shooters. So it's just kind of a mess right now, guys. Being pretty healthy, but not playing, not playing when they probably can play. Um, Too many blowouts. Just people probably who want to play, but they can't get healthy, and you just got a whole bunch of a bad mix of things going on for most part. But in a highly skilled league where guys are able to do a lot of things, dribble, pass, and shoot but um, competition is lacking, and when competition lacks, interest may wane, may fall off, and that's kind of what happens. I mean, maybe the gambling, which side of it, which I hate, maybe that's keeping viewership up to an extent, but um, the ratings are the ratings. The lack of interest is just that, and I just think we're in a time with the NBA where this famous saying where it says the NBA's hit the latter part of the statement. It says hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. So I'm not saying these guys are playing are weak or anything, but the money's gotten so big, things have gotten so nice that people naturally tend to slack off and do less. You can't, because one thing you can't create is desperation. You can't just manufacture it. I mean, some people can. They're kind of maniacal, where they just get any type of edge. Like Jordan may make up something in his head, or Kobe might try to go to some crazy level where he's working out so hard to where he's passing out because he just wants to be that great. But you can't create desperation till it's put before you and you're really desperate, you're really hungry, and we're just in that stage of weak men creating hard times and good times and guys getting overpaid. So it's just a bad mix right now, to an extent. Games too similar. You got Draymond Green saying it's boring, and I got to roll with him to an extent. A lot of times it is because it's just screen and roll, or let's hunt the mismatch, and I'm gonna go one-on-one. Everybody else standing around looking. It's not much ball movement. A lot of quick bad shots sometimes. I mean, just the pace is good, but they're just coming down back and forth across the screen, just back and forth, quick shots, quick threes by guys who really aren't shooting that well, just because they're just programmed to shoot a three. And that's the only thing they know how to do. And when they're forced to do something else, they don't even look at the mid-range, or they kick it back out to somebody else so they can shoot a three. And when most teams are doing that, is and it's not going in, it doesn't look good. So hate to keep harping on the point, but that's just what it is. And I kind of seriously have to agree with Draymond on that statement. I don't think it was wise for him to get on TV during the All-Star break and say that, but that's who he is. He kind of wants to be the guy who says what's on his mind, and is trying to set himself up for a career after basketball. So more power to him. And also people complaining about the length of the game. I say maybe be a little longer. Maybe if they come back to this format, maybe they go to 50. I mean, since these guys want to break, I mean, they don't want to play 4 12-minute quarters, or because it's just too much, or they say all the stuff they have to do before that with all the other obligations for All-Star weekend. And then when it comes to the games, they're kind of mentally spent. But I mean, I can kind of understand that, but come on, man, you're playing basketball. I mean, get the juices going just for one game. Then you've been off a few days before that, and then you're going to be off after that. I mean, guys before did the same thing, so just man up. I mean, some guys giving these guys excuses, or they're laying out how it all works. Okay, yeah, we have this media event to go to. We have to do this, and then guys are also having a good time. And then, okay, you want us to come play this game Sunday night, and we've done all this other stuff, but you're playing basketball. You're not pounding concrete. As Kevin McHale once said years ago, we're playing basketball. We're not logging trees. So, man up. I mean, my God, man up. Give us some competition. I mean, a lot of money and everything you do is on the line. But yeah, I mean, the rate you're going, you're gonna mess the money up for other people. But I guess eventually, all empires fall at some point. They may be built back up, and you have to build the league back up through hungry players, talented players, like it was built up before. Because don't forget, it was on tape delay. Yeah, now it's everywhere, but I mean, it keeps going the same way. I mean, streaming apps might want to back out. Certain channels, I mean, they could cut down on what you're able to see, but that's for them to the players and the commissioner and everybody with the NBA to figure out. Now, as far as the ratings, those came out, and I have them here. I'm going to read them pretty much word for word. According to Front Office Sports, All-Star Game viewership was down 13% from last year, with 4.718 million people tuning in across TNT, TBS, True TV. Now, 2024's event had a 5.398 million fans watching. So, and that was, according to this article, it says that was pretty unremarkable, and doesn't even come close to some of the great name numbers the game posted at its peak. So the numbers are falling. I mean, the ratings are falling. I know TV switching up with streaming and everything, but on a lot of these sports. But as Rob Parker likes to scream on the Odd Couple, as much as changed, baseball ratings are up, and I don't watch really one lick of baseball, but their ratings are up. The NFL still has its ratings up. Now, I know they have a day set aside, and you get coverage based on your local area through Fox and CBS. Then you have the NFL network games on Amazon and Monday Night Football on ESPN. So, and I'm going to bring up an interesting point with NFL before I close out the show. But those guys' ratings aren't down, so you just got to make the right adjustments to. I don't think it's shortening the games. I don't really think it's a 4-point line. I just think it's going to come down to style of play, people playing, guys hopefully playing when they're healthy. Just, you can't help injuries, but all this resting, and I can't play a back-to-back. I mean, if you're not old, man, come on. It's like 2 games. I mean, I know back in the day they would do 4 and 5 nights, and that was grueling, but guys got through it. I mean, and now you're talking about not even 4 and 5 nights. You're talking about just, okay, you just played a back-to-back, but you can't play one or the other unless you have serious knee issues and injury issues like Joel Embiid or Kawhi Leonard. But, I mean, Zion maybe, but he's still young. I know he's had a lot of issues, but it's back-to-back, reduce the minutes. I mean, figure it out. But yeah, so, and as far as All-Star 3-point contest, you had Tyler Hero win. Dunk contest, you had Mac McClung becoming the first dunker player to win 3 times in a row. And the second to win 3 dunk contests, he joined Nate Robinson. Fun fact for you guys. I heard that recently. Um, hey, I mean, people want to complain and say he's not a true NBA player or he's a two-way or mostly in the G League, but guys don't want to dunk. I mean, guys don't want to show the guys who have athleticism that most of us dream of don't want to dunk. Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant, Zion. I mean, when LeBron was younger, he didn't do it. So, I mean, this guy comes out here and, I mean, you got to give it to him. I mean, yeah, he launches. He's definitely a 2-foot jumper. So, and I don't have his height, but 6'2", I think, somewhere around there, if that. So he's jumping off 2 feet, but I mean, hey, I give up the dude. He jumped over a car, not the hood like Blake Griffin. He jumped over the highest point of the car. What's the hood? Damn, drawing a blank. Pretty much the highest point in the car, because it's not, the hood's in the front, the trunk is in the back. So he cleared it, and he reverse jabbed it. Now his leg came down. He had a funny landing. He went crash landing, kind of face first diving over near the camera people, but he completed the dunk, and he completed all his dunks on pretty much the first go around. I mean, tapped the rim with the ball, then dunked it. So his dunks look very similar to each other, but he completed them. Now Castle did some pretty good dunks. That one where he went around the back and finished with the left, and also the between the legs windmill after that guy shot through the basket. That was pretty impressive. But I mean, McClung just took to another level, and then he's a little shorter, so it looks better. So got to give it up to the guy. And the criticism on the broadcast, them taking so much time between the games. But hey, give props to Ernie Johnson, Charles Kenny, and Shaq for all they've done for TNT and that show inside the NBA. That was their last All-Star game. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, it was a little awkward, but hey, if you guys understand, the game isn't 48. The basketball game wasn't 48 minutes, so they're trying to fill TV time to get ads. Like Ernie Johnson said, let me get these ads in before I get in trouble. This is to keep the money flowing. So yeah, people can complain that for them to hurry up, but they have to fill time. It's on TV. I mean, you have a slot to fill. But I guess maybe that can be worked out. But obviously next year they won't. I guess ESPN will be taking over, or NBC. So it'll be different. This is the last time on TNT. So I mean, honor those guys with the fishing stuff, and the Kevin Hart stuff was kind of awkward. I thought it was kind of a joke, but I really wasn't paying attention. But he was. You could hear him in the background of the commentary talking to players, telling them kind of what to do. That was, I'll say interesting, but the gameplay, it was okay. I mean, can't please everybody. I'm fine with being in the minority of people who didn't like it. But I thought it was okay. And then the last thing I'll say about All-Star Weekend is as far as the dunk contest and people chiming in, Ja Morant, stop it. Going on social media saying, hey, what's up? Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine, I'll do it if you do it. Just stop it. Last year, Zion said, I'll be in the dunk contest if I'm an All-Star. Well, he did. He did live up to his word. He wasn't an All-Star, so he wasn't in the dunk contest. But there was a reason. Ja Morant he wasn't in it. I think Ant-Man got hurt or something because he wasn't even in the game. Because I was like, where is he at? So something happened. So him and LeBron ended up being scratches for that. As far as LeBron, I mean, other players have taken their picture, All-Star picture, without their jersey on, so it's really no big deal. But I'm not gonna come down on him too hard, but you could have took the time to just put your jersey on. I don't know what he was, if he had some hitting meaning behind it, but he could have put his All-Star stuff on and just look better for the picture. But I didn't really get that. But yeah, these guys just stop. Giannis was saying something as far as, if you do it, I do it. I mean, where's the just don't say anything, and just when it gets close to All-Star time next year, put your name in the hat or say I'll be there. I mean, just stop. Oh, instant reaction, prison of the moment, getting happy. I mean, want to put something on social media to get a buzz, get some likes. Yeah, Matt McClung got me thinking about doing it next year. Then next year rolls around, you guys don't show up. I mean, I don't want them to scrap it, because being able to dunk is a very unique, special thing. Everybody can't do that. Most people can shoot threes and make them. I mean, but everybody isn't given the God-given talent to dunk a basketball a certain way. and you guys who are, you should be displaying that. It's called All-Star Weekend. We need all-stars in the dunk contest. John Morant, Anthony Edwards, Zion Williamson. Yeah, it'd be nice if Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine came back, but man, that was 2016. I mean, you talking about next year, that'd be 10 years. I mean, these guys aren't spring chickens anymore. I mean, Gordon and LaVine, they're possibly too old. I mean, and they did it. I think LaVine did it he's already did it at least twice. If not the same for Aaron Gordon, but stop. Just chill on that. I'll do it if you do it, or I'm going to do it next year, or you're pretty much copying LeBron. He said he was entering his name in the 2010 dunk contest when Nate Robinson beat out Dwight Howard in 2009. He said he was on TV and Ken Smith was egging him on, and he was talking to Cheryl Miller. And he said he was entering the contest. He jacked it up. He was preliminary entering. His words, not mine, but he was entering the dunk contest, and at that point, he's seven years in. He would have been 7 years in. I mean, he should have just stood on his words, and I really don't want to do it. I'm not a dunk contest dunker, even though you did it in high school, and you won the All-American one in 2003. So I'm pretty sure you could have came up with something. I'm pretty sure just name alone and jumping really high, something creative would have come out of it, and you would have done it, and it would have been no longer a topic, because you did it at least once. All the great players, athletic players before you, Jordan, Dominique, Dr. J, David Thompson, Kobe, who I didn't think was really that impressive. He won it more just with his after making the dunks, just kind of, what do you call it, showmanship or pumping up the crowd. He just kind of did it between the legs. I wasn't really impressed with it, but I mean, he won it. I mean, just to say you did it and just to compete and win. But maybe, as they say, Richard Jefferson said LeBron was scared of losing. I mean, I don't know, but don't get so caught up in the moment where you entering your name a year in advance and then you don't show up. And now, and people, the younger guys see that, so they say, I'm not doing that anymore. So, and now they're copying LeBron. Yeah, you guys might want to believe it's a stretch to say he kind of hurt the dunk contest by not doing it, by not keeping that momentum going from Vince Carter and other guys. Not on LeBron's level, I mean, athleticism-wise, yes, but Jason Richardson, just superior dunkers, and then you're the next guy up and you don't do it, then now we push along, and I mean, you rarely get guys doing it. Now those guys, Ja Morant, Ant-Man, Zion, as soon as they came in the league, they should have went on and did it. Now time is going by and they're teasing at it like you teased at it and just just don't say anything, or just live up to your word. I mean, John Moran, Zion, you said you were thinking about it. Prove it to us. So when we can believe it when we see it, and we don't really have to believe it anymore because we're seeing it. But I mean, just stop with the trying to get some attention because you aren't there and teasing people. Just come through on your word. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, guys, we got about 30 games left, so we're gonna see how this stretch run goes for these teams, especially after some of these teams making these trades, big time trades, whether it's going to go one way or the other for you. Luka and LeBron in LA, De'Aaron Fox joining Wembanyama, see if they can make a push for play in. Jimmy Butler going to Golden State, see if he can move them up in the standings. Hold off some of those teams below them. See if Philly can make it. That's what I'm interested. I mean, they pretty much tie with the Nets as far as their record, and so they're tied with the Nets, and everybody's just losing, and Chicago's just holding on to the 10th spot, the final spot for the play-in. And I expect Chicago just to definitely start losing a lot of games, especially after sending Levine to Sacramento. But the East isn't up to par. I mean, can any of these teams, Philly can't get healthy enough, and B's talking about possibly having to have another knee surgery after the season. I mean, they're 20-34, tied with Brooklyn for that last spot. I guess just barely ahead of them, but Brooklyn did go into the break on a 3-game winning streak, and Philly lost their last 5. Maxi's doing this thing, but Paul George is looking somewhat washed up. Or he said he was dealing, what was it, his finger or something he was dealing with. Just found out, so something with his hand. So I mean, it's just like, will they make it? And if they make it, I'm expecting them. Maybe they'll make it out of the play-in, but I mean, I just think people saying they could be dangerous or nobody want to play them. Yeah, they got those three all-star level players, but more than likely, Embiid's going to be hurt. Get hurt. Paul George may still be hurting, and it's just going to be Maxey. And I mean, I'm a strong believer of the habits you build during the regular season are going to show themselves in the postseason. And all Philly's shown us is inconsistency with their lineup. I mean, Maxey being the most consistent guy, Paul George and Embiid in and out of the lineup. Embiid just appearing seeming to be broken down pretty much. I mean, damaged goods. You get in the playoffs, I mean, yeah, you have a slight chance, but it's just too hard to come up from that position. They're gonna lose. Okay, they'll say they made it as an 8th seed or won a play-in game, but those definitely weren't the expectations. But with health, but it's just a big if. So I'm interested to see if they're going to get the one of those play-in spots, because Miami's slipping too. I mean, the Hawks, I seem like they've kind of by sending Hunter, they want to kind of tank away, and Johnson being hurt. But we'll see. And Orlando sliding, can't score, so it might be a chance for Philly or I guess Brooklyn. I mean, and then Toronto's not too far behind. They started playing well, and they're pretty bad. So, well, whoever gets that spot, I mean, I don't think Boston's going to catch Cleveland. So Cleveland should make easy work of whoever whoever lands in the eighth spot. Out west, I doubt if anybody's catching OKC. Um, and yeah, like I said, see what Phoenix done. I mean, they couldn't really make any big trades. If they go for the, if they make it into the play-in arena, or they just go ahead and fall off the rest of the way. And if the Spurs can catch them, and wow, Portland's somewhat of a threat, but I seriously doubt it. But they are got the same amount of wins as San Antonio, and we're expecting San Antonio. San Antonio has a better team, especially with the addition of Fox. But see if they can put it together. Yeah. So as far as the pros, you want to grind their way down these last 30 games, and obviously, it's almost March, so NCAA basketball is going to have everybody's attention. The SEC is strong. Duke is good. Cooper Flag, very talented player. Duke has a very good team, only lost 3. Auburn's legit. Alabama, Florida. I mean, the NIL is really paying off down there. As far as my team, Carolina, I'm just hoping they can put together a run during these. We can beat these other scrub teams. We are somewhat pretty much of a scrub team. We haven't beaten anybody good. Maybe one team really, but and the rest of the schedule is definitely favorable. By the time you hear this, hopefully they'll beat NC State at home tonight. They're favorite. And we can put a stretch run, a fake winning streak. I mean, it would be nice, very optimistic to go. So we won our last and beat Syracuse. Ian Jackson played well in his return to New York, his home state, putting up 23 in that game. So all sub 500 teams: the NC State, Virginia, Florida State, Miami, and Virginia Tech. I mean, those teams are. Most of those teams are not good in conference play, or right on par, I should say, with us. But put together a nice streak and see what happens against Duke at the end of the season. Just trying to get blown out like we did in Durham, but it's just been rough. No big guys. Davis not shooting well. Got just not a great shooting team. You got a small. You have to be exceptionally well at shooting, and we're just not that. And the big guys can't create open looks for us, and just didn't get much out the transfer portal like last year. And it's just been rough. But nice to put in a little streak going into Duke and play them at home. RJ Davis closed out his career at home on senior night. Play Duke close. Maybe, hey, in their 3 losses, Cooper Flag has been at a clutch turnover in all 3 of those. Close game. Maybe he does it again. That's kind of his MO right now. Only thing I can say about him, from what I've seen, that he's kind of one of his something he's obviously going to have to get better at. Just slipping and turning the ball over, or spinning and losing the ball. All 3 of those close games. They lost to Kansas. They lost to Clemson and Kentucky. Clutch turnovers. Turnovers in the clutch. It's Cooper Flag's MO, but just be happy we keep it close and not get embarrassed again, close out the regular season. People calling for Hubert Davis's head. I don't really agree with that. And good to hear. I know probably Roy Williams did what some people say, it's just a PR move, but by supporting Davis having coached under him for a while, criticizing those people who pushing back on those people who said he should lose his job. But just last year, the team was in the Elite Eight. I mean, should have beat Alabama. Then they went on that run to the final game. Hubert Davis sent Coach Ken to retirement. First ever meeting between Carolina and Duke in the tournament. Caleb Love nailing a clinching shot over Mark Williams. I mean, so it's been a roller coaster up and down, and they said they're getting a GM so he can they can handle this NIL thing, and it's gonna have to come with more money. That's just the name of the game now. That this name, image, and likeness, and guys can get paid legally. It's gonna have to play the game. I mean, it's just not the same. I just want to come to Carolina attitude. I don't think Ian Jackson will jump. Hopefully he comes back. Drake Powell has some potential. Cadeau's a good point guard. He needs to become a better shooter. And we got the guy Caleb Williamson from Holy Innocents right here in the Atlanta area. He's coming next year. A few other guys. You put together a solid team. It's just wasn't the year. It just didn't work out with the transfers and the incoming big men. And Duke is just very superior, and the ACC's down. So and the SEC is where it's at. And so I mean, just give it some more time. I mean, okay, they bottom out next year, then I guess you're gonna have to seriously look at that. If they aren't seriously looking at it now, but I mean, the guy gave you 2 good seasons, and that team that came back after that championship game run, I don't know what happened, what rumors broke up the team, but then Love ended up transferring. I don't know what went wrong, but that was just terrible. And we're kind of having that same season now, but this team is constructed poorly compared to that team. That team still had Baycott. They had good guards, guys on the wing who can defend, really couldn't shoot. But I mean, this team is just too small. I mean, I like Trimble's hustle and athleticism, but Ian Jackson's still young. Davis is kind of down. Not the quickest, not an exceptionally quick point guard. He can score at times, but he's really too inconsistent. Nobody in the post to get him open looks like before. And so it's just rough, man. But it would be nice to see them put together a little winning streak before going up against Duke. And I'll close out with this, like I promised. Just heard that on the Odd Couple that Netflix, as far as the NFL, is trying to get into broadcasting more games, streaming as it has to be specifically now. So it would be wild. But the crazy thing is, a lot of people have Netflix. I mean, I'm only paying the $7 plan. I think it's gonna go up to $8. Now this can make it go up some more, but when I found out you can pay cheap and get most of the stuff you want to see, and just have to watch some commercials, cool. I'm not paying $12, $13. I mean, not really sharing it with anybody, and commercials aren't that bad. I mean, you just get used to watching them for ads. So I'm like, yeah, give me the cheapest plan now. Some stuff is locked up. Couldn't watch the newest Bad Boys, and some other things are locked up. But hey, just like any other time, you just wait till it becomes unlocked. I mean, people get so caught up that, oh, I can't see that, I have to see it, instant gratification. But if you just take a moment, breathe, I can wait on it, or rent it from somewhere, a one-time fee. But Netflix is getting this subscription money every month, like many of these other providers, and cable did the same thing. So, but Netflix wants to get into the NFL, and for those of you who may have forgotten, AFC games used to be on, or however it worked, but I think they used to be on NBC. I kind of forgot about that. And then Fox has had the NFC for a while. And so now they're on the contract, I think, until 31 or 33, but they can break the contract like 4 years early because it's going to be a bidding war. So if Netflix wants to get in and maybe take one away, or more likely CBS, I think they were saying, or and broadcast AFC games. Everybody has Netflix. It's just the way the world is going. Yeah, I mean, I know when it comes on Fox or CBS, it's free because you just need an antenna. But I mean, they just make it, or you got YouTube TV or some service with you get CBS, I think, with Paramount, so they're teaming up that way, or Peacock with NBC, is all these streaming services, but I'm not gonna pay them all. So yeah, that's I found that to be a pretty interesting thing, that times are changing even more. I mean, it's been on CBS so long, you think it's always been there, but I forgot that it was on NBC until I think like 98 or something. So which was a while ago, but and there's not really much other NFL news. Some rumors out there. Those numbers of sexual assault, as far as getting massages with Justin Tucker, I mean, those numbers are growing. So we'll see what happens with that. I mean, hey, what you do in everybody can't be lying. What you do in the dark will eventually come to light. And maybe he's not getting as much press and everything like Deshaun Watson did, and race obviously plays into it. But another thing too, Deshaun Watson's a quarterback, and that position is definitely under a microscope. More people pay attention to that position as opposed to a kicker. But I mean, Tucker for the Ravens, he denied it vehemently, but the numbers grown. I think last I heard was 16. So we will see how that plays out. Got some perversion going on. He needs to get corrected if it's true. But that's all, folks. I just want to get in real quick. Man, I want to go shorter, but talk about this all-star stuff and speak about how I was in the minority, and just certain guys need to stop teasing us and just step up and do it. Step up and dunk, because you've been given the special talent of dunking like most of us can't. And I mean, I know that's not pushing the lead because there's a lot of three-pointers, and most of the dunks now are just lobs, unless Ant-Man's going downhill or Ja, or there's a tip dunk, but most of them just screen and roll, make the help guy come. He just throw it up for you, and he just finishes it with a basic put in, so to speak, basic alley-oop. So athleticism, like on that level, isn't the way the game is played anymore. It's just it's more skill based. How tight is my handle, and how can I beat you into fouling me for a three-pointer, as opposed to just continued attempts by players to attacking the paint, looking to challenge shot blockers, looking to dunk on shot blockers. So just a different game, but it is what it is. It's changed. It's going to change once again. So we'll just have to wait and see what that change is. Just hopefully they aren't shooting shots from half court on the regular. But folks, that's my time. Thanks for watching this episode of the All Basketball Podcast. Please, please, please subscribe on Spotify, iHeart, YouTube, Google, Apple, wherever you listen to podcasts, if you haven't already subscribed. Hit that like button on YouTube. Strongly appreciate it. I'm not sure how Spotify does like reviews and everything. Rate it on Apple as well. And until next time, I'm your host, Maurice Dixon. Peace and be blessed in Jesus' name.